Welcome back to the show. Like I said, we're subjecting this matter to a bit of scrutiny, shall we? Like I said, also the opposition NDC is not very enthused about this. In the studio with me is A.B.A Fuseini, Member of Parliament for Sagnerugu. Sir, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Now, what is the NDC so unamused about? I mean, they've gone through the process. They've been to court. It's more of a technicality. It's not. You can't really blame the government for what has happened, can you?
Indeed, the blame is squarely at the doors of the government, and indeed inclusive of the President of the Republic. It's shocking that in this democracy of ours, where evidence so abounds clearly, we have the video evidence. Everybody in this country saw what happened. So, Gifty, let me say for a start that this is a farcical judgment.
What does that mean?
Elephantiasis judgment.
I see.
I mean, you cannot believe, and today, like I said, the international community is making Ghana an object of derision.
Why do you say so?
That in the face of this evidence, the MPP is completely incapable of prosecuting its own. Like I said, there was video evidence. We all saw it when the hoodlums ran into the place, ran amok.
In the midst of that chaos, in the midst of that agitation, how are you able to identify who did what?
Gifty, it's very plain. Look, the police are professionals. And I want to believe that if they want to do a thoroughly professional job, Gifty, they will be able to sift through the evidence and get them one by one. Look, there's technology in this day and age. This day and age, technology abounds to isolate people one by one on video and be able to zero in and get them as the act was committed. It's very clear. And this prosecution is being done by the Attorney General, an appointee of the President. So the MPPs clearly, from day one, were committed to make sure that all the people who were involved in this criminal act will be let go. That's why I see this as a deliberately shoddy investigations. They exhibited deliberately crass incompetence, both in the investigations and both in the prosecution, so that they open the window for the people to be freed.
I see, but
that is what they have done to the good people of this country. And I'm sure Ghanaians are watching this government and watching how they are abusing the trust and the power that the good people of this country give them to administer. Gifty, don't just go far. We just saw recently where criminal acts, matters that border on criminality. This Otiko Burinabu matter that came up. The MPP arrogated to itself the right to determine that criminal matters could be decided by the National Council of the party.
No, the man who made, not that we would go into that anyway, but the man who made those allegations himself came out to you know, he said things to
the MPP National Council.
He said things to the effect Gifty, that what he said was actually a slip.
That one was immaterial. Gifty, is that not laughable? That you can go on air, compose your thoughts, make detailed revelations, and come and say it's slip of tongue. Are we sure? Look, they should treat the good people of this country with intelligence. Okay. They should not take our intelligence for granted, or they want to insult us and question our intelligence.
Let's return.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
let's return to the substantial matter. Now we're looking, these are the charges they've been freed from, sir.
Yes.
Disturbances in court, resisting arrest, and rescuing persons in lawful custody. These were the charges that were put.
So even the court itself did not feel disturbed. These were hoodlums who ran amok, scattered everything, including court documents. Was the court not disturbed? Gifty, between me and let's fear God and tell the truth for once. That the court did not feel disturbed through the action of these hoodlums. Is that what the court is saying? Is that what the prosecution is saying? That no disturbance whatsoever took place in the court that day when they scattered everything in the court, even manhandled the judge.
They actually
roved the judge up.
They rained insults on him.
Yes.
That's the report.
You can go to a court, ransack the court, and rain insults on the judge, and that amounts to nothing being done to frustrate the delivery of justice, to prevent a lawful, constitutionally mandated court, a court of competent jurisdiction, from carrying out its legitimate constitutional function. And nobody sees anything wrong about it. Is this the Republic of Ghana we are trying to build today? I am scandalized that His Excellency President Nana Akufo-Addo, who touted his human rights credentials, and who a party that says it is a champion of the rule of law, treating the court with such a farcical and intemperate manner. I'm shocked.
You're shocked
that this is coming from the MPP.
You're shocked, and I can feel the vibration from here, right here in the studio. A.B.A Fuseini, there's Member of Parliament for Stagnary. I'll come back to you.
I'm also speaking on behalf of the minority leader as
right. We'll be engaging the NDC as a party, but of course he's speaking for the minority, who we understand will be holding a press conference. Is that correct?
Yes,
okay.
Correct.
Well, I'll come back to you, sir, but I'd like for you to listen, to actually watch this. We've been speaking to some people on the streets on what they think about this ruling. We can watch them now. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation.
Why not? It's a good thing, because when you take your mind back to that case of Muntie 3, their case, even though it was what a normal thing that the person said, they took it seriously, yeah. And with that, the president used his prerogative power of mercy to save them. Even that case, the president was able to save them. Then what of the Delta Force? It is so they have to do what? Save them too. It is normal, so you have to take it that way.
No, it's not a bad thing, but what I suggest is that the security has to be very, very tight, so that something like that will not happen again.
It's a good thing to release them, because after all, we are all human beings and we are all committed faults. So if they have punished them already, it's time to release them, because punish somebody for so long is not a good thing.
So those are voices on the streets. You've heard them. What do you say?
Gifty,
yes.
this is, I mean, even the most elementary, somebody even in elementary school can read through what is happening. That this is a purely politically motivated judgment.
That's very...
They deliberately decided, Gifty, to do shoddy, incompetent prosecutions and investigations so that they will let go. Look, I had references being made to Muntie 3. Look, if you want to compare, even in terms of the democratic credentials, what this government is doing doesn't come anywhere near what happened under President Mahama. In the case of Muntie 3, the president did not interfere one bit with the investigations and the prosecution.
That's what you say. But
they appealed before court, they were sentenced, and they served more than 1 month in jail. The MPP should have allowed a competent prosecution to take place for the court to decide. If they were found guilty, let them go to jail, and the president can exercise his right to do a remission. That would have been accepted.
You are suggesting that the NPP, you are actually accusing government
yes, exactly.
of interfering
that is exactly
in legislative
yes.
in judiciary processes.
Exactly.
But that can be accurate.
That is
what
accurate.
Evidence do you have?
Because it is the Attorney General who initiates prosecution, and it's the Attorney General who did a deliberately shoddy and incompetent job, so that the people will be let go. That is what I'm saying.
What evidence do you have to that effect, apart from saying,
look,
I mean, the
I
AG will have his reason.
I just gave you that we have video evidence. In this day and age, even in the most resource-bereft country, they could have used that technology to zero down and get every single one of those hoodlums who took part in that criminal act. They could have done that and used that as evidence. How can... The court said it freed them on the basis of lack of evidence. How can we lack evidence in this matter? When evidence abounds, Gifty, how can you be sitting by a riverside and be complaining of thirst? You are living by the banks of a river and washing your hands with spittle.
So as far as the minority is concerned, this is a plan. This is a clear plan by the party.
It clearly orchestrated this by government and the MPP to free their members.
The people who just spoke, they all seem to agree with the ruling, the judgment.
I'm sure that you spoke to 3 people. Let's speak to Ghanaians. And when we speak Ghanaians, let's have a sample that is representative of the opinion of Ghana. The people you selected, I doubt whether these people can speak for Ghanaians.
Would you have said the same thing if they all said it was...
I would not have said it. Would still have been not representative of Ghana. 3 people. Gifty, I'm sure you agree with me. I mean, it's a tiny, it's like a pinprick on the back of an elephant. They cannot serve by any means representative views of Ghanaians. And so if you want to even make that comparison with Muntie 3, it doesn't come at all. So this is a day of shame for the new Patriotic Party and the government, that they can dissent, they can bastardize our democracy in this manner. Now, how many people are going to have confidence in the rule of law? How many people? International community and business people come to do business in the country. And this is the government that says it is interested in promoting business. How many people looking at what has happened will be inspired that they can come and do business in Ghana because the judiciary
I mean, you can't just take one case.
It's not one case. They're putting up case. I just gave you an example where people can come out and say they know who murdered ABCD. Which businessman will want to come here if there's murder? And they will tell somebody can come and say they know this, and they will say no. Go to the party headquarters and call a meeting of the National Council. They will pardon you and go. You write an apology letter and go for serious crimes. Please, we are running a country. This matter is no longer within the preserve of the MPP. The MPP should not think. President Nanado swore an oath to protect the good people of this country, irrespective of their political color. So he is not a president for the New Patriotic Party. He is a president for all Ghanaians. They must not do this on the altar of partisan politics. They are sacrificing the national interest on the altar of the MPP interest. He is a president of the Republic of Ghana, not a president for the MPP.
Let's look at what can be done. Now, the minority is infuriated. You do sound like you are. You say this is the day of shame for Ghana. We know that the minority is going to call a press conference pretty soon. What are you presenting in the at the press conference?
I'm sure I cannot preempt my leader, the honorable minority leader. Perhaps may even address it more competently than I do. But one message will come out very clear, that the good people of this country are shocked and angry at things that are happening like this judgment. Because the government has deliberately chosen to show incompetence, crass incompetence, shoddy work. Is this the kind of competence the MPP said that it had?
Okay.
Even when small, important matters are, the whole international community is watching Ghana to see how this judgment will go. And this is the kind of prosecution a government that touts its competence can do.
Okay,
is
hold
that
on.
all the competence the MPP can offer? That a simple case like this, even me, I'm not telling the law. If you put me to have secured the requisite evidence to get these people jailed, I could have done it. Okay, well, better than the Attorney General, who is a lawyer and cannot even find evidence.
People will say
it's shocking. It's shameful.
It's easy for you to say, but hold on for me, sir. Nana Obribwahin is Deputy General Secretary of the NPP. He is also a legal brain. He's a lawyer. He joins us on the line now. Hello, Nana. Thank you very much for your time here on the Pulse.
It's a pleasure talking to you, my sister.
All right, sir. Now, you've had A.B. Fuseini. I don't know if you actually followed our conversation, but the minority and whom he's speaking for at the moment are not enthused about this, the ruling, the judgment that is freeing the 8 members of the Delta Force. He believes that the party or the government has interfered in the judicial processes. What's your reaction?
See, I just laugh off the sentiments of you. Look, I mean, you know, like A.B.A Fuseini, when they talk, I remember when I was handling this Abudu Abani case. A.B.A Fuseini then was a belly graphic. He was making a lot of complaints, a lot of noise. I mean, you couldn't believe it. Eventually, he contested on NDC ticket, won. It's in Parliament, and some of us are monitoring his utterances. He has not seen a vast difference between NDC and MPP.
Nana, let's not. Nana, hold on. Nana, hold on. I know you are a legal man.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that.
So
he's not a lawyer. I may pay him.
So let's deal with it. Nana, let's deal with the issue at hand rather than do the political bit. I mean, we'll have time for that. But for now, let's look at the issue. The issue is that people, including A.B.A Fuseini here, are not happy about the judgment.
They are not happy because, you see, we lawyers call them, they are laymen.
So help us understand. Help us understand the logic behind inability to establish evidence against people who are said to have disturbed the court, resisted arrest, and rescued persons in lawful custody.
It's a simple thing.
Break it down for us, sir.
This is self-inflicted parody on A.B.A Fuseini. Look, let me give you education.
No, moving away from A.B.A Fuseini, sir, let's look at the issue as it is.
Oh, good. Our system is the acquisitorial system. And when we talk of the acquisitorial system, what it means is that at all times material in criminal prosecution, the burden of proof is on the prosecution.
Okay.
And that the prosecution must discharge that burden to a certain point, which will warrant the judge or the court to call upon the defense to open their defense. When the prosecution is unable to prove a case, whether prosecution case is discredited through cross-examination, or the prosecution's case is in very weak, or the prosecution's case material witnesses cannot be assembled by the prosecution, the law is that the prosecution has not succeeded in establishing a prima facie case.
Okay.
Now, in this particular case, what the state is saying that they've had the opportunity to consider the witness statement of the witnesses, those who are going to give evidence for the prosecution. Now, they've looked at it very well, but they've realized that they are not material witnesses whose evidence can let the prosecution discharge the burden of proof placed on the prosecution. And therefore, they are to be discharged. It's a basic, simple, rudimentary legal principle.
I see. Now, Nana, there's also the common sense, if you'd like, where you say, people say that, look, these are the evidences in the video. Couldn't you look at the video and make out those people who are said to have caused these disturbances?
Before you tender the video, it is the investigator who will tender the video. So you need prosecution witnesses. From the statement given by the prosecution witnesses to the investigator, they are contradictory. They don't come out to establish any prima facie case against the accused person.
I see.
And therefore, you cannot just get up to go and then screen the video. There must be a prosecution witness who will testify before the investigator. It is the investigator who is going to testify in court, and then you will tender the video. But why the other prosecution witnesses? You look at the merit or the substance of the evidence they are going to lay in court, and you think that it is so weighty. I mean, so this is going to be discredited. They don't sound like convention. That prosecution cannot go on. That means that they said to withdraw the charges preferred against the accused person.
And that order came from the Attorney General Department, which is why the minority in Parliament, for instance, are accusing the government, which is led by your party, of deliberately interfering in the process to free your people, which he says is a shame for the rule of law.
No. You see, Mr. The minority, the lawyers who know the nitty-gritties of the prosecution, who are saying these things are only being mischievous. But the non-lawyers also, you will pardon them. You will pardon them. But that at all times material, that has been the position of the law. So that is why you look at the Court of Appeal decision in the Republic versus Kumasi alias Tango. If you look at the sentiments of A.B. and Piasari and Yawapo, as he then was at the Court of Appeal. I mean, it's a classical case when you're dealing with criminal prosecution. Or you look at this case of the Republic versus Yahuza, which I gave after the Court of Appeal. When you look at this Court of Appeal decisions in those two cases, are you with me?
I'm with you. Now let me bring A.B.A Fuseini to respond to what you have just said. Okay, sir, you've heard him. He is a lawyer. He's trying to break it down so that we'll understand that there have been several instances or perhaps precedents that you could relate this story to, and so it's not out of the norm.
Yeah. Gifty, thank you. Let me just say that he tried to get to my very person, and I just want to say all those who have followed the exploits of Nana Obribwai, they know how many bellicose statements, countless, that he has made. And I mean, I won't even go there now because, like the government say, a man who has died in the market, you don't need to announce his funeral. As far as Nano Bribwan is concerned, people know him for what he is. People who have deliberately, and as a matter of their own choosing, gone to such lengths to infringe the law, go to a court of law, set aside all whatever rules and regulations apply there, bastardize, destroy property, shove the judge, and do whatever in front of everybody. Everybody saw it. Look, if you are telling me that I'm not a lawyer, on the basis of which even I cannot apply commonsensical issues to determine certain issues, you don't need to be a lawyer, Gifty, to know that the law has been so flagrantly abused. And when he spoke, Gifty, you could see that he didn't answer any of the questions I said, because I said one, that it is a product of deliberately shoddy and incompetent investigations, deliberately shoddy and incompetent prosecution, all under the aegis of the Attorney General, who is tasked with an Attorney General who is an appointee of the President. That is where we draw in the party and the government. Okay. That because these are MPP guys who committed these criminal acts, and they are bent on making sure that they free them to go home, they will do everything possible to make sure that they frustrate the law.
What's the minority going to do about it?
I will not blame the judge so much. The judge will have to deal with the evidence that is available to him. So if the Attorney General decides to bungle up the investigations, to bungle up the prosecution, it's a bungled case.
So you think that is what the Attorney General has done now?
That is what they have done. And from day one, a lot of us were completely not oblivious of the fact that because they are MPP people, they will do everything to say it. But we were trying to say that, look, because the international community has their eyes on us to see how this
Let's see how it goes.
I thought that at least for once, this government would have done the honorable thing even for once.
Okay,
but it is a record.
What is the minority going to do now?
You see, the MPP is behaving like typically somebody whose mouth is full of water, and he says he's going to blow to the candle fire. You will put the fire off. That is the kind of government that we have now. They are not committed in any way to this rule of law and the fundamental rights of our people.
Alhaji, let's look at what the minority is going to do now. What options are available, and which of them are you going to explore?
I'm sure, like I said, I don't. As we speak now, I think the press conference is getting underway by the minority leader.
Okay.
And I don't want to preempt what the minority leader will say, but I can tell you clearly, measures will be outlined as to the next line of measures the NDC would undertake. Okay. Just like we said in case of the Otiko Budenabu case, where criminal matters bordering on criminality
hold on
have
for
been
me.
shown aside.
Hold on for me, Alhaji. Now, as we speak, there's another development with regards to Delta forces. Nana, I trust that you are here on the line with me. Now, some men who claim to be members of the vigilante group have visited the offices of the NHIA at Kwabre East in the Ashanti region, demanding the resignation of the manager there. We can get some more from the NPP constituency chairman of the area, Nana Opokwa Jemai. And when we come back, Nana, I'll let you respond to that. Oh, hello, Nana. Hello?
Hello? Hello, yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, we understand that some people from your party have written a letter to the NHIA administrators in Kwabre East asking them to resign, actually threatening them if they do not resign. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. Actually, it's only one boy, some boy who did that, who sent that letter, and you'll be reminded by us, the leadership of the party in the constituency. I'm the constituency secretary, and I can tell you with his authority that we don't support such action. We are law-abiding people. We don't just stand up and antagonize anybody. No.
Okay, but did he go there with 3 other Delta Forces members to threaten
we don't know anything of any Delta Force, please.
That's what our sources in the Kwabre East NHIA are telling.
We don't know of any Delta Force in our district, please. You see, they have their names.
Sorry, so say that again. You don't know of what?
Force to what is happening here. And it's a minor issue. You see, so we are trying to solve it ourselves because the leadership don't support that.
Okay, what I want you to establish, hello sir, hold on for me. What I want you to establish is whether or not the guy you say wrote that letter to the NHIA official has gone there threatening the man with 3 Delta Forces guys.
Yeah. Okay, it's a man who can tell you, but I'm not sure they threatened him. They sent that letter, which we think is an illegal letter because they should have informed us. We are the authorities here. We are the leadership of the party in the constituency. And Nana Adodam Kwakufo-Addo, the president, is a law-abiding man, a very good lawyer, and doesn't ascribe to that. So we are advising those boys to stop those things. Actually, we are not supporting that, and then I think he's safe, and nothing will happen to him.
All right,
So
thank you.
There is nothing like any data for here.
Okay, right, thank you very much for your time. Nana Aubrey, Boyan, are you there? Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, Nana, I'll have you respond to both what your one of your executive members in Kwabra East has said. Apparently, some people in your party are writing letters to NHIE authorities there to resign, actually threatening them. He says they are dealing with it at the party level. But isn't it disturbing that we still have these developments? I mean, way after the election, that we still have these developments, especially now that 8 of them have been freed for lack of evidence. That it's going to create a certain culture of impunity and make people go on abusing.
That is not it. That is not it. They say, like, I took the time, I took the opportunity to comment extensively on the criminal jurisprudence of this country. And as for A.B.A Fuseini, naturally, should not be enthused about it at all. Because we were monitoring A.B.A Fuseini at Daily Graphic. Things you were writing about the MPP. And I've been doing a lot of cases at his backyard. A lot of cases during their time. During their time. Look, we don't want to talk about this equalization. During their time, 29 people were arrested in Tamale. At the end of the day, 5 were prosecuted. All the 5 were Abudus, and all the 5 were MPP activists. Let me repeat to the hearing of A.B.A Fuseini. During their time, at his own backyard, 29 people were arrested in Tamale. 2 nights. All the 24 were set free. 5 were prosecuted. Those who were all prosecuted were Abudus. Those who were all prosecuted were MPP activists.
So you're going on with the equalization, which is, of course, something that we don't want to delve into, the equalization.
So, we don't have to tell A.B.A Fuseini he should not pay. There were Abudus. A.B.A Fuseini was there. He was a deputy minister there. He should not there. He should not go there. He's standing on a dangerous ground.
But Nana, you are a lawyer.
We are talking about why they were discharged. Then I said, look, we have this acquisitorial, and I went through a prima facie case must be established, no prima facie case. And this is the first time the state has come to court to say that, look, we don't have enough evidence. We are withdrawing. So in some instances, even death, murder cases, after the bill of indictment has been prepared, the prosecution will come out that our witnesses are not coming.
So your point is?
So we need not be playing politics. And I say, on daily basis, if they are not sending a petition to the U.S., they are sending a petition to the Congo Parliament. They are raising issues left, right, and center. You should mention the proper thing to do. Let me give them education a little. Proper thing to do is to apply for certified true copy of the proceedings. You apply for certified true copy of the proceedings. Statement by the prosecution.
Okay.
Statement by the prosecutor. Are you with me?
I'm listening. Go ahead.
And they can even go on further to apply for a copy of the letter, which was duly signed by the chief state attorney.
Okay.
Thereafter, you can run an extensive press conference. But just that somebody, as I'm talking to you now, I doubt if A.B.A Fuseini and his other colleague ministers have had the opportunity to look at certified true copy of the ruling. I doubt.
Okay, well, the bottom line is that the people have been freed. They've been let go. And so they're going to...
The bottom line is that it was not just the judge who sat in the courtroom and said, you have been freed.
And the fear is that there are 13 others who are in police custody. And the fear who have been...
Case, is it not coming on tomorrow?
Right.
Tomorrow,
but
yes,
so the fear is that, the fear is that what if the same thing happens, and that it creates a culture of impunity, which is what I wanted you to touch on. So we wrap up on this conversation.
We are not talking of political equalization. But look, worse things happen. No, we should not be playing
Yes,
political.
so let's deal with the issue at hand rather than do the equalization.
No, I'm not talking about political, but I'm saying that I'm just reminding A.B.A Fuseini that perhaps he has forgotten about what has happened. 5 abudus.
Okay.
It was not only a question of 5 MPP activists. They were all abudus.
Okay.
And
So
Fuseini,
so the NPP is happy that your guys have been freed, right?
As a lawyer, I am saying that, look, the state says that they don't have enough evidence to prosecute them.
Okay.
As a lawyer, that is pure and simple. It's a criminal matter. Time does not run.
Okay.
Time does not run. No, it is not that they have been acquitted and discharged. They have been discharged. Perhaps you don't know the difference. You don't know the difference. Then you attempted to make all of these excuses. They have not been acquitted and discharged. They have been discharged. There's a legal interpretation when somebody is discharged.
Okay.
And when you are acquitted and discharged, that is also a different thing.
So it's possible. It's possible they'll be sent back to court.
Well, remember that this situation they have been discharged. That is operative work.
Okay. Thank you very much.
No, so we don't need to be playing politics. That is why I've been referring to them these days as frustration-driven politicians.
Okay.
I'm sorry to use this word, but I have to. Because they are frustration-driven politicians.
Okay.
Who just resort to frustration-driven press conferences.
Nana, we need to wrap up. We need to wrap up on this conversation. I'll just take I'll take A.B.A Fuseini's reaction and then we end that conversation. But thank you very much.
I think if there's any frustrated and disgruntled politician, it's Nana Obribwai. He knows it by his own record. But I don't need to go. Let me set this record straight. I have never been deputy minister where 5 people have been acquitted and discharged. Never. It's a patent falsehood he has planted. Never. It has never happened under the watch of myself or anybody where this thing has happened. So as he seeks to portray, I think that he's feeding a very false information to the public.
He says he's providing you with...
You hit the nail right on the head. What they are doing is entrenching a culture of impunity. When the state directly intervenes to get people who should be behind bars for the commission of atrocious crimes, and they use the political collar to get them freed. They are creating a culture of impunity. That is why, if you are talking about, it's not in the northern region, the same Delta forces, Bolgataga Bulldogs, Kandahar, or they all run amok, seizing state property as well as individual private property. So it is that impunity. You remember even after His Excellency the President visited Nana Otumfuo Asantehene and gave him the assurance that the thing would not happen. They went to the Ashanti region
again. But they asked
down their man. So I just want to say that, you see, the Dagombes have a saying that if you cure a monkey of his toothache, it will visit your corn farm. If you create a monster out of your son, after devouring others, it will come for you.
He's
you see that after they created the Delta forces to go and beat up NDC people, they started beating up NPP members. And I want Gifty, let me make this important point. The moral society, including our clergymen, who are representatives of God on earth, tomorrow the Almighty God will ask them questions. That when evil deeds were perpetrated, they kept silent. They must speak up.
It just happened
when
today.
When evil is in the society, they have a duty to speak up.
Okay.
Our moral society, our NGOs, all the civil society-based organizations. This is happening, and they are all keeping mute.
Okay, now
they should all speak up.
They are speaking
because
up.
Tomorrow,
say, but
the seed that is being planted today can be a source of destabilization for this country.
That point is well made, but he's giving you advice. He says to request for the detailed judgment, and then you can take it from there. Have you requested for it?
He wants to treat us as if even those of us who are not lawyers, we are ignorant of the law. Who doesn't know the difference between acquitted and then acquitted and
no. I'm asking about his. I'm asking about his advice for you to seek the detailed judgment, the judgment of
without prejudice, that can be done. But the issue is that we are commenting on the judgment today.
Yes, he's saying that until you have the details, so that you can understand the reasoning behind.
We all listened to what happened in court today.
Were you
and
in
it was
court?
clear
you were not in court.
That they were discharged for want of evidence. Is that not the case?
Yes.
But
he's saying that you can get more information if you should get the detailed judgment, and then you can make an informed decision.
Even on this score alone, that they were acquitted
they were discharged, not acquitted,
on account of want of evidence. That alone
doesn't make sense.
That alone even is mind-boggling, because Like I said, in the abundance, how can you live by the banks of a river and wash your hands with Peter?
Okay, your final word.
In the abundance of evidence like this, and they tell us that they couldn't find any evidence.
Your final word.
To convict these criminals.
Alhaji, your final word.
Yeah, I'm very sad. This is a very sad day, as we all spoke, because the international community, the whole world is watching Ghana.
Okay.
To see what happens in this material case, to see whether the rule of law will be upheld, to see whether a signal will be sent to those who want to engage in such lawless and criminal acts, so that they will know that it doesn't pay for people to run amok, go into a court of law where a court of competent jurisdiction is sitting on the case. You run amok, destroy court property, shove aside the judge, and you still say that you didn't find anything wrong. It's shocking.
Alhaji,
I think that the people of this country that don't deserve to have this under their governance. It's a downgrade of our governance.
Thank you very much. Alhaji A.B.A Fuseini is Member of Parliament for Sagnerugu. Like he's indicated, the minority in Parliament will be holding a press conference very soon, and we will go over and get those to you, bring it to you live, so that we can see what steps they're going to take. Alhaji here is not in the position to preempt his leader, he says. So we'll wait for the minority in Parliament to see what they are going to do, beyond being disappointed and beyond being shocked. What steps, what options are available for them, and which of them are they going to explore? Alhaji, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much. And I want to say that the media, we should stay engaged, because at the fourth estate of the realm, we have a duty to hold the feet of government to the fire of accountability. Right. Let's not be complacent, because they will run this country down, and all of us will go down.
Thank you very much. Well,